The United States is experiencing a crisis of trust in business. And we've touched on this a little bit in a variety of different ways, but how do you, with everything that you've said, how in the world are corporations really going to handle the challenge? And are we starting to turn the corner yet, or do we have a long way to go?
Oh, I think we have a long way to go to rebuild trust in business, not just in the United States, but globally. The decline in trust has been ongoing. We've seen it spike a little bit in the last year or so with the financial meltdown, the recession, depression, if you like. It's high on people's radar screen right now, but if you look at the trends, for example, on the Edelman Trust Report, generally speaking, there's been a continuous decline in trust in business over the last many decades. So what needs to change? What needs to happen to change that? Well, in part, it's business needs to change. Business needs to earn trust. You don't get it conferred on you by right, and you don't get it conferred on you because you take out an ad. You get it conferred on you because you earn it. And you earn it every minute of every day with everybody that you relate to, starting with your employees. Right now, employees are the most important driver of trust in an organization because they're the people that are believed in and listened to by everybody, every other stakeholder group, way more often and with much more credibility than the CEO and senior management. So start with employees. Are you delivering on your promise to employees? And are you treating them with respect and dignity? And are you listening to what they say and adjusting accordingly? Or are you deaf and in command and control mode, in which case you'll never earn back your trust? Because if that's how you treat employees, who are your most important stakeholder group, how are you going to treat your customers and your suppliers? So I think it comes back to how do companies behave. There's an increasing power imbalance, and what we know from the work that was done with the Business Roundtable Institute of Ethics and the Arthur W. Page Society, and the report that recently came out, evening out that imbalance of power is a really important driver of trust, and that's got to come from how businesses behave and how they deliver on their commitments to society generally and individual stakeholder groups in particular. So once a company starts to think of itself as having a long-term future in a sustainable way, then it begins to behave with all stakeholder groups differently. Marks and Spencer in the UK is a really good example, I think, of a company that says there is no plan B. We have to be sustainable. And that means we have to change the relationship that we have with customers and suppliers and every other aspect of the environment in which we operate in order to build a long-term future. So in part, as companies, I think, begin to think that way, and not be driven all the time just by the quarterly result, important though that is, and all of this is like what we must drive business outcomes. As communicators, we've got to drive business outcomes, not just communication outcomes. The communications really don't matter if they're not driving some sort of business outcome, but we've got to help our companies see things differently and then behave differently, and then we'll help rebuild the trust.